So it's the whole stigma of that mindset piece, which I explore huge because what you say is what you become. But then the other side to that, Paris, is there are trillions and billions of dollars going through bank systems every single day. So
Hmm.
that whole comment really kind of put me in a direction, so to speak, of like, oh yeah, money doesn't grow on, but the opportunity for money is so out there. So going back to the question, how do financial beliefs form? Do they form at an early age? When I was a kid, like what did that have an
Hmm.
impact on me? Talk to us about
So a lot of times your beliefs around money will be from what you modeled or see modeled in your parents and in the parents of your friends. You might see or hear money doesn't grow on trees. You might hear we can't afford that. You might hear we don't talk about money. You might hear like, or you might even see maybe and today it's very, very common to have a single parent and to have to see that single parent struggle. If you look at two children, one that grew up in a dual family that was well-to-do, well off, their whole belief around money is that it's easy, it's possible, we can do this, there's money as abundant. But then you see another child, same age, same potential, even the same country, state, whatever, but grows up in a more single family, sees mom working three jobs, hardly ever there, barely can do, he or she comes home from school, nobody's home, they got to fend for themselves. Money is hard money is rough. It takes a lot of work. And mom's always telling me I can't do this or can't buy this or can't, that those two kids are going to grow up with very different money beliefs.
Yeah.
The kid who lives in the more affluent household is going to have that belief, hey, I can do this. I watched mom and dad do it. They're doing very successful in their business. I can be successful. The other side is like, and here it's never 100%. There are
Right.
kids who will grow up in either of those things, and one might be entitled and think that everything he's lazy and he's entitled and he's a complete you know what, and we don't, and he never goes to do anything on with his life. And then there's kids that learn from their parents, man, I gotta hustle and I'm gonna outgrow this. I'm not gonna be the one that has to have three jobs like my mom did. And
Mhm.
so there's always those exceptions, right? But those two kids grow up in those two different separate environments are going to have completely different beliefs around money, and it really does form at a very early age.